All right, so time for episode 2 of this series. We talked about kind of some tips for surviving the fall semester as far as school is concerned. Let's talk football. All right. Just to get this kind of out of the way right off the bat, doesn't matter if you like football or not. See, if you live in the United States of America, your schedule is going to be impacted. Your programming schedule is going to be impacted by the presence of NFL, collegiate, high school football in your area all throughout the fall. It just is. That might even be one of the reasons why you don't like football, is that Monday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, Friday night, every single night seems to be just dominated by people smashing their heads into each other, right? You don't like that. Okay, that's fine. You're not required to like football. But it is important that you recognize the cultural influence that it holds. I've gone two different directions on this. On the one hand, I've gone in the direction of that if a person or a family is not willing to attend your small group or is going to cut out on church on Sunday morning because of the Super Bowl or because of a just general athletic competition, it's because they're idolatrous and that they don't really love Jesus as much as they should and that they need to be convicted of that sin. I've also gone to the other opposite of that. No, we as church leaders need to embrace, kind of leverage this cultural maxim that exists called football for our benefit. I've been on both sides. Where am I now? I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I do think that if you are basically the summer or the fall arrives and so long, Pastor, I'll see you in the spring because the NFL is now your new place of worship, probably have a problem. You probably do have maybe an idolatrous spirit present there. If you are a booster of your college team or whatever that you graduated from, but you don't tithe to your church, you probably have an idol problem. And if you tend to show up more often at the stadium on Saturday or Friday night to high school, college football than you do Sunday morning, or the reason why you don't go to church Sunday morning is because you're wasted from the tailgating Saturday night, you probably have a problem. And it might be multiple problems. It might be an addiction. It might be several things. And you need to kind of deal with that. On the other side, yes, we do need to deal with this thing. We do need to accept and kind of embrace it, leverage it a little bit. And I think the way that is best done is that if you host a small group at your house, then you might want to also consider Monday night, Thursday night, Friday night, hey, listen, we're going to watch the game together. Bring some chips, we're going to have dip, we're going to have drinks, and we're all just going to sit around, we're going to watch the game, and using that as a platform to kind of building up a hospitality culture in your own home, to where your neighbors, maybe your kids' friends, the parents of your kids' friends begin to feel welcome and invited into specifically your own personal home, so that when something crazy starts happening in their life, drugs, sex, rock and roll lifestyle, whatever is happening, they'll feel welcome to bringing that, sharing that, and dealing with that together, that you will have access to be able to speak into those in a spiritual way. So that's kind of what I would say, with one very important caveat, I guess, and it's this: do not bait and switch. Do not bait and switch. What I mean by bait and switch is we're going to have Monday Night Football at my house, but at halftime, we're going to turn the thing off and I'm going to preach at you for 15, 20 minutes, and you have to sit there and awkwardly listen to something that you did not intend to hear. This is not something I wanted. That you're just going to tune it out, and I guess we're going to have to find somewhere else to watch the game next week because this is not something I want. Don't do that. That's just, first, it's weird. It is very, very weird. It's not natural. It doesn't have this kind of organic nature to it. And then don't do that as well because you need to sell the product that you've been advertising. One of the reasons why, as far as the NFL, some of these sports are so popular is you know what you're getting when you turn on Sunday morning, Monday night. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get touchdowns, you're going to get interceptions, you're like, regardless of the outcome, you know what you're in for. And so at the end of the day, and same thing with church as well, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get music, you're going to get like a 20-minute message, whatever the thing is. You're going to get some glad handing, maybe a fellowship thing afterwards. There's going to be donuts in the lobby. Like, you know what you're going to get. When those things aren't present, or something weird is present, people are not drawn in. They're put on their guard. So what you want is people's guards to be down. You want them to be more affable towards you. You want them to respect you as an individual. You want them to see you as a human being, not a religious robot. So don't bait and switch. Just have people over to your house. Feel free to enjoy the chips and the pizza and whatever. If you want to have, like, host those things at your church, that's something to discuss. Like, if it's in the pocket for your church to do that, you can get 40, 50 dudes at your church watching it up on the big screen in the sanctuary. Okay, maybe. I'm of the opinion that those things don't belong inside the central worship environment, but if it's there and you have an opportunity to get not only believers but also unbelievers into and accustomed to being present inside your church building, the same way that the small group thing that I was talking about before, go ahead and do it. Feel free to do so. But I don't know, it's very touchy. No, I wouldn't do it. If I'm the senior pastor, I'd probably say no as well. If you're a youth pastor and your kids play on a sports team, you better go to those games. And if you're in a town where multiple schools are present and you can't go to everything, try to make a rounds. If you have a favorite team, sure, go to them, razz other people that belong to the other team. But you need to make sure that you're present in those environments because that's where your kids are, and you need to be modeling the missional aspect of being present that you would expect kids to take advantage of. So that's a lot. I get it. Tomorrow, maybe, probably not, but maybe Friday, we're going to talk about holidays. So look for that. And if you think I'm wrong, cool, let me know.